Sorry about that, guys. I don't even know if I'm good. Let me see. Test. Perfect. I was talking to myself for a minute until I realized I had to change the stream key from the weekly market breakdown to this one for this week. Hope everyone had. Sorry, give me a second. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope everyone had a good start to their week, the new trading week. This is the isolation session for September 15th, 2025. We'll be going over the pairs that you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their names, starting off with AUD-USD, finishing off with US oil. As always, again, isolation session will update the daily time frame if we need to, the 4-hour time frame if we need to. Not a lot of differences, but we will speak about some pairs that made some moves today. But overall, should be a pretty quick session. Don't really want to take longer than 30-40 minutes to do this. Yesterday's session, we had a lot of gems. A lot of good things were talked about and explained in yesterday's stream. Really, the first 30 minutes is where the best clips are, right? So, if you guys didn't watch it yesterday, take some time tonight after this session, go watch yesterday's session. Take some notes, update your charts, and get ready for the rest of the week. We have FOMC, I believe, on Thursday. So, overall, let's actually start with that. Right, so we go to Tuesday, right? We got news at 8:30, nothing too crazy. Wednesday we have FOMC, right? And Thursday, unemployment claim. So, not really expecting, already understanding. All right, we have FOMC on Wednesday. We could kind of already get into the understanding that today, Monday, which we will see, and Tuesday, we might not have too much volume, right? We might not make a lot of moves until after Wednesday. So, we'll see what price wants to do. Want to give everybody another 2 minutes to join. We'll start at 7:05. Any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, whether or not the pair is on our list, let me know. Any entries you guys took, anything you guys are looking at that you want me to break down, just let me know. And we will do that. You going over platinum? Yeah, yeah. We'll go over platinum. Just want to give everybody a few more minutes, man. Where's everybody at? If it's just gonna be me and you, Kendall. Well, it is the isolation session, so I still gotta. The first one of the week. I'll go over it one by one. Never mind. Man, some dino nuggies. Been a while that I haven't had one of those. Dino nuggets, yes. Some dino nuggies with barbecue sauce. I'm gonna get some Taco Bell after the session. Damn. Some Taco Bell. Dino nuggies fire with barbecue sauce. I'm telling you. But now I'm not getting Taco Bell today, man. I made some plantains and rice. I was craving pasta earlier, so I made some pasta too. A little bit of pesto sauce. Yeah. Everyone good? Minute and a half again. Any questions, guys? Any other pairs? Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. Anything at all? Let me know. If not, we will get started at 7:10, starting off with AUD USD. Gonna send my instruction in Discord. All right, send it up. For platinum, all right, bet. Mr. Albert, welcome, my brother, welcome. All right, team, let's get started. Send it. Send it. Go over it on stream if you can. I got you. We'll do it when I get to platinum. I'll look at yours first, and then we'll look at that one. Nearly missed this live. It's all good, Albert. We're just getting started now. Never too late, man. It's never too late. All right, so AU As we know, we're still in level 3 on a downtrend, waiting for price to reach our second point of interest, where we're expecting price to give us a set lower high in the trend, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, looking for a set lower high. We still got a few more pips to go. AU is still looking good, right? These next couple days on AU, we want to definitely keep an eye on it. Once we get into that point of interest, that's when we'll start looking to take these trades back down. Right now the trend is still being followed, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Price gave us another higher high. We have a day of rise. Move this over. Our 4-hour highs need to be moved. And at this point, I'll just keep it here. But we still don't have a set 4-hour high on AUD-USD. So, still on an uptrend, waiting it out for AU. Can't believe it's daytime somewhere at this time. Think well, there's 12-hour 12-hour difference. So it's 7 a.m. in the western hemisphere of the world. I know for you what it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like what, 1 a.m. for you? 12 a.m., 1 a.m. AUD CAD. We're in the second zone of consolidation on a downtrend, right? Where we know price was rejecting highs, going back down, doing the same thing, going back down, right? Rejecting and going back up, doing the same thing, going back down. And now we can see that price rejected the lows again, going back up. So AUD CAD is another one that once price gives us this set push wherever it wants to pull back to in the zone of consolidation. Once we start seeing lower lows and lower highs on the 30-minute time frame, once we get that change of character break of structure, that's when I'll start looking to take trades again on AUD CAD. But for right now, just going to take a step back. We have no continuations either. Either we have a day of no net, and we're still trading between the previous higher high and higher low. So pretty much Friday and today, price is just moving sideways. Euro AUD looks like price just consolidated today. Did you open the stream this morning? No, I didn't have a stream this morning. All the pairs pretty much when we woke up, everything had already hit ADR or STP, or some of them were just still consolidating. So I was like, I'm not gonna force anything for the day. There's really nothing on my watch list. Euro AUD, we're in level 3 on an uptrend. Price gave us a higher high, looking for a higher low. Price decided to just give us a small little zone of consolidation, waiting to see where price wants to go. Does it want to give a steeper pullback just into the internal highs and lows, or does price want to go back down how we saw AUD USD? Does it want to go back down into this daily gap that we have here to fill this gap to then continue back to the top side? So we're just letting price move. Once we start seeing continuations to one side, then we'll really know. But 4-hour we're downtrending, 30-minute we're downtrending. So gonna be patient with Euro AUD. Once we get that set higher low, then we'll start taking those trades from the higher low back to the higher high to continue that trend back to the previous highs. EuroCAD is in peak high territory, so this is one pair that I will not be trading. Going to keep it updated. Made some new highs. 4-hour time frame. We still don't have a set break. Technically this did give us a 4-hour break. Because we're waiting to see price close above this gap. It closed above it, came back down. So EuroCAD is going to be an interesting one. I don't like that though, right? Because even though it gave us confirmations for uptrends, right? Daily time frame, we have exhaustion candles at the highs. 4-hour time frame, we have exhaustion candles at the highs. 30-minute, we have one as well, right? And on the 30-minute, price did not give us a valid break of these highs. Gave us the inducement. So if the 30-minute would have also given me a valid break, specifically because we already had lower low, lower high, lower low, and we're looking for a higher high, right? We had the change of character, higher high, higher low. We're looking for a valid break. And for us to have a valid break, we need to see a green candle close above that's not touching the break of structure line, and we never had that. All of these candles were still testing the area. So if the 4-hour would have had good confluence with the 30-minute, this would have been a nice little, just another trade to take back to the top side, right? Because at the end of the day, we're still trading in this zone of consolidation from the bottom to the high, right? Rejecting highs, going back low. So EURUSD is not a pair that I will be trading right now. We'll let price do what it has to do, but in peak high territory, we're just gonna let price ride. Let price move, man. It's all good. We're not in no rush. So EURUSD, we could turn this one off. Mr. Bashir, welcome, my brother. What I missed, just the first two pairs, but nothing too crazy. A lot of pairs adjust, moving counter trends, or in a zone of consolidation, so it's not too much to keep an eye on. You didn't miss too much. Euro USD, we are in level 2 on an uptrend. We're trading at the previous higher high. Once price gave us a set higher high, very similar to what we're going to see on GBP USD, price decided to give us a zone of consolidation. Right, again, similar to what we were seeing on EA and what we were seeing on AU, we have a gap at the bottom of the market where price would give us a pullback down to the bottom to give us a higher low, is to fill that 30-minute gap as well. Similar to what we were seeing on AU, similar to what we were seeing on EA. So just a question here for EU. Are we going to continue to just respect these highs the way that we've previously done? Right? And this is where we'll see price continue this downtrend push into this gap to then go back to the top side. Or if price doesn't do this, then I need to see price give us a break of these highs to then continue. Right? So there's only two things that could happen. And in this area, very low probability for me to take a trade because we're trading at the higher highs. Again, we're trading at the highs that price previously hasn't broken before. We've been testing these highs for many weeks. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. We've been testing these highs. So we want to be careful taking trades in this area. Now, once price gives us the break, then we could go ahead and be like, alright, cool. We have the break, we have the retest. Let's look for the entry to then continue back to the top side. Price then gave us a change of character lower low, and then it gave us, right, I'm not going to say that this is where the change of character happened. This is all part of one trend here. And I'm even more bound to say, even though price did give us a valid break of these highs, and technically this would be where price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, for the sake of the trend, I'm going to keep it like this. Right, because we're already at these daily highs and 4-hour highs. So technically speaking, it's really not that big of a difference. Because again, either way, we need to see price break these highs. Right, so we could kind of piece this together on the 30-minute a little bit closer than it really has to be. So we'll keep it like this. We have a day of rise. On to the next one. For GA, we are in peak high territory, very similar to ECAD. On an uptrend, right, we have push 1, push 2, Push 3, once we reached our previous peak highs, price decided to just move sideways, give us a zone of consolidation. So again, GA is a pair that for me, I am not going to be trading it. Once we start seeing lower lows and lower highs, whether it's on the 4-hour, 30-minute time frame, right, the daily time frame, I need to start seeing lower lows and lower highs. Until then, I'm not going to be trading this. We have 2 days where price has moved sideways, and we're still trading between the previous lower low and lower high that were set on Thursday or on Friday and Thursday of last week. So GA, we could turn that one off since I will not be trading it. GCAD, we are in level 3 on an uptrend. We know that we're stuck at the top of the previous highs that price has rejected. Once again, price went up to these highs, gave us the same exhaustion candles that it did the previous 2 times. Once it gave us that exhaustion candle, we could go down into the 4-hour, and we could start seeing how price is reacting to these highs. Price gave us an engulfing candle going short, but the engulfing candle, it is valid. It has a very small wick, right? But this is an engulfing candle going counter trend, so I am not going to be marking this one, right? Because we know we're in an overall uptrend. Right, then price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave us a change of character back down to the bottom lower low down here. We had a day of no net on Friday, and then Monday today price gave us a day of drop. On to the next one. Let's see if GJ gave us the break finally. GJ on the daily time frame. We know we're still in an overall uptrend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. On the push back up to the higher high, price decided to give us a zone of consolidation. Right? This zone of consolidation is on the 4-hour time frame. Looking at the 4-hour time frame structure, right? We know we're looking at these highs where price has tapped into it a few times, never gave us the break. They were just testing candles, inducement candles, right? None of these candles were breaks, they were just testing candles. And then price ended up giving us some highs here. So let's see which highs are higher. Are these highs higher? Technically, no. These highs are higher here. Right, so we're looking for price on the 4-hour to break these highs here. That was really supposed to be the blue box that I changed, but it's all good. I'm gonna just change this instead. Right, so we still don't have a 4-hour break yet. Still testing. And on the 30-minute time frame, we had 2 days of rise. Price today being the 3rd day push. It gave us that 3rd day push to the top side and finished on a no net. Damn, if price would have given us that break on the 4-hour and would have given us this pullback, that would have been, that's the only thing that's missing to confirm this trade on GJ. And the 30-minute highs and lows is over here. And we do have a 30-minute break, so I'm gonna move this to up here. That's the only thing that's missing from this trade. If we would have had a clean 4-hour break, we would have had a simple trade on GJ for just a nice little push back to the top side. Right, and we have a 30-minute bearish engulfing candle here as well, so we want to be careful with these trades. We'll see what price wants to do. We'll wait for our 4-hour break. Once we get the 4-hour break, we'll go on from there and start taking trades. Let's see if GU gave us the break that we were looking for. Once again, GU very similar to EU, just based on where we're trading and how price is moving. We are trading in level 2 on an uptrend, waiting to see if price wants to give us a higher high back into a higher low and just give us a steeper pullback, or if price just wanted to give us a zone of consolidation. And very similar to what we were seeing on GJ, this is a little 4-hour internal structure that we have, that we're looking for price to give us the break of these highs before looking for price to continue back to the top side, right? Because again, this is an area where price has rejected highs and went back down, rejected the highs, went back down, rejected highs, went back down. Once we get the break of these highs, that gives us the confirmation that price is going to continue. That's when I'll start taking these trades on GU. And right now the 30-minute time frame again is looking good. We're still on an uptrend. It's still making higher highs and higher lows. All we have to wait for is a higher time frame confirmation. Once I get the confirmation on the higher time frame, once again in this case it'll be the 4-hour time frame, that's when I'll start looking to take trades. For NZD USD, we are in A2, second zone of consolidation on a downtrend. We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation on a downtrend, so we know that these are not the best spots to look for a trade. We know we're looking for that third push back down to the bottom to create another peak low, but we also understand that we're in a zone of consolidation. Price could always go higher, it could give us a steeper pullback from this area, right? So now this is where I'll be using the lower time frame to give me just a little bit more confirmations. On the 4-hour, yeah, we can see that price is giving us lower low and lower high, and we're still in the lower high areas, but we could also see that on the 30-minute time frame, right? And let's see if the 30 looks better than the 4-hour when it comes to this, which yeah, it's a little more extended on the 30-minute, but if you guys could see where I'm going with this, on the 4-hour, it looks like price wants to give us a little shoulder head shoulder. Right, and we already understand again a shoulder head shoulder, for it to be a confirmed shoulder head shoulder, we need to see price break these lows regardless, right? For us to then look for the break, the retest, to then continue these pushes back to the bottom and reach our previous peak lows. If price breaks the highs of here, then we understand we're just going to get a steeper pullback back to the top side. So already on the 4-hour time frame, I understand, all right, on the lower time frame, I'll just have to wait for price to do the same thing. Makes trading a lot more simple. Putting your areas, your points of interest, and allowing price to move to those areas. Once you trade like that, it gets very simple. Especially when price is ranging. Right? We would have a completely different conversation if price is trending, right? If price is trending, you're just taking higher highs and higher lows. Right? But what if price is consolidating? Can't really approach it the same way. US 30 is another pair for me that I am not really trading. I'm keeping an eye on it. Again, US 30 is one of those pairs that even if it's not in the areas where you want it to be, it's a good pair to keep an eye on. Right? But right now we're in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market. Price just gave us new highs today. We have no continuations, but we do have our confirmed break of the daily highs and the 4-hour highs, which were given at the end of the week last week. Right? So we do have a confirmation break. We do have a set higher high. So at this point, it's just the question is, are we now going to start taking trades at a higher high to continue into higher highs, or is price going to give us a nice little pullback? Right, so if we could catch pullbacks on US 30, is not bad. US 30 pays. We know that we're still trading. Let's see. Where do I have this marked at? High, low. Right, boom. Higher low, higher high. Okay. So we still have a huge area, right? We're trading between this higher low and this higher high. So technically speaking, could price give us a steeper pullback? Absolutely. Could it give us a pullback back into the daily, the 4-hour lows? Just give us a retest of where it gave us the break? 100%. Right? So, just want to be careful and keep that in mind with US 30. Right? We know that we could trade these pullbacks, so what I'll be looking for is confirmations going short. Right? Not also confirmations going short, but also the EMAs that we want to see price bounce off. So peak high territory, technically, we're still in level 3. Level 3, we want to see price bounce off the 50 EMA. So understanding that the 50 EMA is also where the previous break of structure is, right? Where we want to see that higher low, that retest, just gives us a little bit more confirmations as to where we could expect price to give us the pullback to give us the pullback to. I didn't see any engulfing candles or anything on higher time frames, so we'll just wait it out. 30 minutes is gonna really tell us everything that we want to see. I would have obviously loved to see the 30 minutes start making lower lows and lower highs, but here on the 5 minute we can see that price gave us a pretty nasty opening gap for last week that I just never saw, but that's on the 5 minute. So I don't know how much. Oh no, it's on the 15 as well. Is it on the 30? No, right? Oh yeah, technically. I didn't even notice this. Right, price closed up here and opened down here, so there is a 30-minute gap on US 30, so gives us another confirmation, right? That price has to go up. There's a gap in the market. Price has to fill that gap in the market. And on the lower time frame, yeah, on the 5 minute, there's really no structure. Right? We had, this little movement here, and then it trended back up to here. Right? There is no real internal structure here. We're trading between this low and this high. So we'll be patient with US 30. It's all good. Right? At this moment, it's really, if you put your fib, especially if you're trading this in the 5 minute, how many traders are in this trade going long in this area? Right? Not only because it's a retest of the previous break, but then if you use your fib, it's at the 50% retracement. How many people saw these crazy wicks from 4 in the morning all the way till 10 in the morning, taking trades left and right? Oh, price finally gave you exhaustion candles going low. Let's take these trades after 9:30 going long. Right? You take the trade going long, you think you're in profit, price goes right back down to your stop loss. Right? You think price is gonna go lower, it gives you an exhaustion candle. The people who don't know exhaustion candles, how many traders do you think are stuck in these positions going short now? Right? So price right now is just consolidating, it's just ranging. Just throwing exhaustion candles going both ways. Trapping traders left and right. I'm not gonna trade in these areas, so we'll just continue. Again, I'll keep an eye on US 30. If it ends up giving us a nice little move, then we'll take it into consideration. But if not, then that's pretty much it. And like these last couple pairs, I'm not really trading them. It's just more about keeping them in your line of sight. And once it starts giving us the moves that we're looking for, then we start trading them. And in this case, USD CAD is doing some crazy moves. So it's definitely behaving like if we were in a downtrend in A1, which is good, right? Again, the only thing bad about USD CAD is the overall structure that we have. We're still technically on an uptrend. Daily time frame is still making higher high, higher low. 30-minute time frame, we're still in a previous, very big structure, higher high, higher low. But within these structures, we're also in a zone of consolidation on the daily time frame. Price is just moving sideways. We're not in a trend, right? So every time frame is kind of telling us something different, where at the end of the day we understand why that's happening, which is what a zone of consolidation is. It's just trying to trap traders, just trying to throw you off. So USD CAD, again, for me, it's one where if I see something that's crystal clear, I'll take it, right? If it's a 372 with the trends, if it's a change of character, break of structure, I'll take it, right? But understanding that right now, the fact that we're still trading, once again, between this previous higher high and higher low, I'm not going to feel comfortable taking sell positions in these areas. because price could still be following this 30-minute trend where, again, if you think price is going to continue to go lower, gives you a higher low, is going to go right back to the top side. Price still hasn't given us a break of the low, it hasn't given us a break of the highs, so I wanted to take my positions in the best areas where, again, if I'm going to be taking short positions, it has to be at the highs. It cannot be in the middle, it can't be at the bottom. And again, in this area, we were looking for a 4-hour engulfing, the retest of the 4-hour engulfing, which we never got. We were looking for price to give us a little bit of a steeper pullback as well and give us an inducement of the high, right? Just tap into our 30-minute highs to then go, but we missed it by a little bit and then it went right back down, right? So just want to be careful with USD CAD. As I said, USD ZAR is pretty much in a similar situation. This is another pair that I'm not trading. Is moving counter trend. We're in an overall uptrend on the daily time frame market makers pattern, but on the lower time frames we're still moving sideways and on a downtrend, making lower lows and lower highs. So USD ZAR is not really on my list. Gold is another pair in peak high territory, very similar to GU, or I'm sorry, to US30, very similar to Bitcoin. Want to be careful trading in these areas. So the daily highs, we're gonna have to update it, but we don't have a set high, so we'll just keep it like this for now. Our 4-hour highs as well, we're gonna have to just update them. We could update the 4-hour high here. We don't have a set high just yet, but we have enough candles and enough room to add that there. And on the 30-minute time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high. Price gave us higher low, and it did give us another higher high. And once again, I'm not gonna move the 30-minute high until tomorrow. We still don't have a set 30-minute high, right? We still don't have a set high just yet. Price is still up here in this area. Now, the question is price going to give us that third push to the top side? It's very low probability, right? Is price going to give us another push to the top side? Is very low probability. And the reason, again, is low probability is because we're trading in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market. We have no more structure on the left hand side. All we have is what the market has printed, right? So for me, how I would approach the markets in this area, instead of looking to take more buy positions, I would just be ready to start taking the shorts. And when will I start taking the shorts is once we get that change of character break of structure on the internal time frame. And we know that we could just take a trade at a higher high going into the higher low. Once we create that structure on the left hand side, which is going to be when price gives us a pullback, wherever that pullback is going to be set to, then we know that we could start taking these trades back to the top side using the structure that's on the left hand side. I hope that makes sense. So because right now we have nothing else on the left, this is peak high territory, we have nothing else on the left hand side, I'm gonna let price continue to push back to the top side. And once we start making, right, once we start making the change of characters, the break of structures back to the bottom, we know that we could start taking these trades to give us a pullback back to the bottom and continue to use the internal structure as confirmations as to where price is going to go. And again, once that higher low is set, then we use the structure on the left hand side that was created. Right, so I hope that makes sense. That's the wrong button. That's why sometimes in the markets, again, everybody's going to tell you, oh, different market phases, etc., etc. This is the reason you need to understand that. Because right now, what is there to trade? Right, the market conditions we're currently in for a lot of pairs is just ranges, just moving sideways. Right, there's a difference between when market is trending and when the market is ranging. Got a few questions. I'm gonna hop in court. Alright, bet. For Bitcoin, let's just update. This is another one in peak high territory. The market doesn't close for another 20 minutes on Bitcoin. We had lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high. So we're trading between the change of character. We're trading between this higher high over here. And we'll update this tomorrow morning. Still trading between the same low down here. US oil on the daily time frame, we are in level 2 on a downtrend. We had the break lower low of the zone of consolidation, lower low, lower high, and we're looking for price to give us a continuation back into the lower lows. Right now, when we're looking at the internal time frame, right, we don't really have anything on the 4-hour, have no continuations, but we know we're trading at the lows of the zone. So what we did see on the 30-minute was the change of character on the 30-minute, lower low, lower high, and we were looking for a valid break of these lows to then continue back down into the previous lower low areas. And the fact that price just gave us an inducement of these lows, and now we can see that price is coming back up, we just got to be patient. Wait it out. Once we get a valid break, that's when we will continue to look for those trades. Let me hop in Cord real quick. Yo. What's up?
So this isn't about platinum, but it was a bit more clarification, right?
Mhm.
So we know that US 30 is in peak high, gold is in peak high, right? Trading the pullback on those pairs because they're both in a higher highs, it would be a bit different if trading AU that's in level 3 drop. We would be trading the higher high um of the 30-minute structure.
Right.
And yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay. Yep. The difference is just US 30 gold Bitcoin, we're in peak high territory,
Mm-hmm.
right? Compared to AU, we're still in the level 3 drop.
Right. But if there was a pair, a forex pair that was in CPI, and then after we had the
GCAD.
confirmation,
No, GA.
like
Or
um
or ECAD.
yeah. So if it was a forex pair that was in CPI,
Mhm.
but gave us the confirmations that we were in a higher high on the daily, and then we would just be trading the pullback, like price on the daily would still be uptrending, but
On the 4
internally
hour.
the information and stuff like that. Huh?
On the 4 hour,
But
it gave us a confirmation.
I'm not speaking about the pair. I'm speaking about just like in
Oh,
general.
in general,
Yeah, like just in
um,
general for pair.
it would all be treated the same way. Like, what's the like what was the question that you have for like what the difference between ECAD
Just
and
the
the other ones?
no, Like I know that ECAT is in peak high.
Right.
It was just trading the pullback. That was like the main question. Like it's just it's a
How
bit
would you start looking for the pullbacks? It's just whenever it's like for example, for ECAD right now, why I'm not interested in the pullback is because on that 4 hour time frame, right, price still gave us a clean break. So we know that we're still trading higher high, higher low, right? So I'm not focused on the downtrend because price gave us a confirmation that we still made another higher high,
right,
right? In
right,
comparison to when if we go to US 30,
right,
right, or we go into like gold for example, right? Once, okay, why is this frozen? Right? Once price daily time frame gave us the confirmed break, right? On the 4 hour time frame gave us a confirmed break.
right,
So we understand we're trading at the higher high,
right.
right? So the question is, where is the pullback going to be? Like what I was explaining on US30. I think there was another pair that did this too. where it looks like it's gonna give you, for example, here a flag post pattern,
Right.
right? So all the traders who are still trading this, like, oh, we have a break on the daily, we have a break on the 4. On the 30-minute, we have another break that could give us that pullback between 38 and 23.6, right? How many traders you think got in this trade got faked out? And it was just based on why. We know we're in peak high territory. So you
Okay.
have to treat this area where every entry right now is low probability. Right? Because this is the area where the market maker is going to start trapping traders. Right? So when you're trading the pullbacks, the problem with trading the pullbacks, I should say, is
Mm.
if you get in a position like this, what are you going to do with all these wicks?
Right.
Right? Or again, the question is, how far back is the pullback going to be? Because again, if you're not following the trend and you're trading pullbacks, STP doesn't have to be hit, right? There's a chance that STP is not going to be hit if you trade counter trend with the pullbacks, right? But I will say this: the reason why I mainly look at pullbacks on pairs like gold, US 30, and Bitcoin has nothing to do with structure, but more with the amount of pips that we're trading.
Right.
I'm okay with catching a pullback on gold, US 30, and Bitcoin because it's not gonna be a 2 pip pullback. It's
Right.
gonna be a 30 pip, 40 pip, 50 pip pullback. In comparison to
Okay.
if we look at a pair like ECAD,
Yeah,
right?
like a
ECAD is not
move.
bad. It's still 73, but it's a 52 pip pairing move. So we know that the pullback is gonna be anywhere between 15 to 20 pips.
Right.
It's not horrible,
Yeah.
but is a big difference when you're looking at the bigger numbers.
Okay. Because that was like the main question, like just in a higher high or in a lower low, like trading the pullback, would it vary on if it's a big pair or not?
Right.
Which is kind of basically what you had just said. Like it's just, I mean, it doesn't really matter on the pair, but it's just like as far as the best bang for your buck, like is it worth it? Like,
Right. Exactly.
okay, all right, and that was it, really.
You say you set the platinum markup too,
Yeah,
right?
platinum structure, and that was just based like a 30 minute,
Oh, it's
and
on the
then
30.
I had the 4 hour marked up as well. But
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So with platinum, we're still right. Overall, we know that we're in the
higher high on
second
daily,
push. We're on the second push on an uptrend.
right, right,
Right. We had this was push number 2, second zone of consolidation. Push number 3. Then we have push 1 to the top side, first zone consolidation. This is push number 2. We had the valid break. We're trading at a higher high.
right,
Right? In this higher high is the same thing, is literally the exact same structure as EU and GU.
right,
Right? It'll be the exact same thing that we'll be looking for. Which again, internally, we're looking at this high over here. Right? These are going to be the internal high structures that we're going to see, that we're going to be waiting for price to break. If price breaks these highs, we could be looking for price to continue back up. But we also know that we're in an internal 30-minute time frame zone of
consolidation,
consolidation where price also gave us higher high, higher high, lower low change of character. So we could already see that again the change of character is just being the inducement as of right now. If price gives us a break of these highs, right, we know we have clean traffic back up to the top side until we get here. And again, either price is gonna give us the fake out to again continue back down, or it's gonna give us that break that we're looking for to then continue back to the top side. Or I'm gonna be
right.
looking
So
for
these
price to give
time
us a
frames
break of here
daily,
to then continue.
with the 30 minutes too?
That what?
So you said that price was trading in between here and here on the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So what? These highs and this low right here.
This high and these lows still down here. Because these were just inducement lows. That gave us a zone of consolidation. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna mark this up yet as lower low, lower high, lower low. Because this technically wasn't even a lower low. Right? Because no candle closed below
All right.
these areas here. So technically this is just a equal low in this area.
All right.
That makes sense?
Yeah, because I was. I mean, it's the exact same as the other pairs, but yeah, because I was gonna say we got a clean break of the zone of this of these highs, so we had clean traffic all the way up into these highs up here.
Mm-hmm.
But um,
I got you, Mr. Bashir.
yeah, the
AUDJPY, I
only
got
thing
you.
is that with the 30 minute downturn in,
Right.
I don't know. So, all right.
Alright, Bashir, you want me to look at AJ? I got you. So AJ is very similar to GJ, right? So when we're looking at the structure on AJ, right, we know that we're trading higher high, right? We know we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Price gave us the higher low, right? And now we're pushing up to the top side. But we understand the same thing as GJ's, just looks a little bit different. We are trapped in a little zone of consolidation. Right, so the good thing with AJ is that we can see that it possibly wants to continue to go higher, but then what happens is we go to the 4-hour time frame and we start seeing that price is starting to reach a high that we have rejected before. Not only that, but I don't trade AJ, so I don't have this updated, but look what we have here, or what we had at this point. We had a 4-hour gap in the market here. So let's switch this to a gap, and we know we're looking at these highs to be either broke or respected. So let's put this as green. And then on the 30, right, so did price already fill that gap? Yes. Okay, cool. We know price could reach up to these highs up here. No problem. When we're looking at the structure, we've been uptrending for a very long time, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price gave us a change of character, higher high, higher low. Then we got the break of structure, higher high, higher low, gave us a continuation back to the top side. And we know that we're trading between this higher low here and these higher highs.
Bless
Thank you. Um, but yeah, at this point with AJ is like pretty similar to GJ, right? You know, the more we zoom out, the more things we see, right? Like we have another gap here in the market. GJ doesn't have this many gaps, but you know, we have a gap here that tells us price is eventually gonna start this downtrend push, right? And I do think that on the 4-hour, I'm just trying to see exactly what I had marked here so I could give you a little bit more, but again, zones of consolidation are just, right? We do have clean break of the 4-hour lows as well, so technically speaking, we are trading lower low, lower high, lower low, waiting for a lower high to be set. So yeah, regardless, we are looking for price to break these highs over here. So we do have, I'm gonna move this, well, I'm gonna just add another one up to these highs here. pretty much move these highs to these, or this line to these highs here. And we have all of this space to create a lower high to then make a lower lows. So I would just be careful with that. Again, for me, when looking at AJ, I would just be looking for price to reach these points of interest to then start looking for those shorts, very similar to what I'm doing with AU. Right, I'm letting AU give me those pushes where it needs to go. Once it gets to my point of interest, then I'll start looking to take those trades. Again, is taking the trades going long a bad idea? No. But at the same time too, understand that you're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Right, so we'll just be very careful with AJ. I'm not a big fan of trading AJ either. But once we get out of this area, once we get out of the zone of consolidation, best believe I'll be looking to take that, right? Because again, regardless right now, which is a very similar situation to what we're seeing with USD CAD, we are in an overall downtrend with AJ. We are in the first zone of consolidation on a downtrend. But again, we do already have valid break of these lows, so just waiting to see where this lower high wants to be set. Once this lower high is set, we start making lower lows and lower highs. We could definitely take these trades back down. Glad to know we're looking at the same setup. Perfect. Yeah, this one looks good. This could be a good one to keep an eye on. This is also going to be one probably in the next couple days, next week or so. We could start looking to take these trades for sure. That's pretty much it for tonight, guys. Any questions? Anything else you guys want me to go over? Let me know. If not, that'll be it, and we'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session.
All it, man. That's it. That's it,
All
man.
right. Good night, Mr. Bashir. See you tomorrow, my brother.